1 second, American Legion Mountaineer Boys State looks like boot camp. Then the next, it looks like a big party. Then the next, it gets serious again. That's how life is. These soon-to-be seniors from around the state were chosen to come here to Jackson's Mill to learn how government works and even to run for office themselves.
At Boys State, I've learned about how the election process works, how the state's run, how the circuit court works, how pretty much everything is run in a state level. And we've been pushed by all the counselors to run for all this, to learn about it and the leadership.
The 300 or so here at Boys State voted for their leaders using the Ivotronic touchscreen machines, the same machines voters in dozens of West Virginia counties use. They voted for offices from city council all the way to governor and senator. Secretary of State Natalie Tennant told the boys, mostly 17-year-olds, that if they turn 18 before the general election in November, they were eligible to vote in the May primary. And she told them that their right to vote as an 18-year-old came from a United States Senator from West Virginia, Jennings Randolph, who was instrumental in passing the 26th Amendment in 1970. Randolph believed that those who were old enough to be sent to fight in Vietnam should have the right to vote for or against the men and women in Washington who were sending them there.
He fought for the young people to get to vote, to move from 21 to 18. And he fought and he fought. You know why? Because he wanted an amendment to the Constitution. He failed 11 times. Do you think that you all could continue doing something after it failed? One time, okay, we'll get another try. Another failure, we'll try again. But after 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 times, do you think you could continue? I mean, what would your argument be? Can you just imagine yourself standing with Jennings Randolph trying to convince folks that if you were old enough to fight, you should be old enough to vote? Makes perfect sense now, doesn't it? But it failed 11 times, and he kept fighting and fighting and fighting.
Tennant had a similar message to the girls at the American Legion Rhododendron Girls State in Wheeling. The girls here, who are also soon-to-be seniors from around the state, also voted for their leaders using the Ivotronic. The girls here are also being taught the importance of being good citizens.
I think it's to teach girls good leadership skills and teach girls about government and how things work and to make just them overall better people. I just think it's important that everyone plays a role. Even people that didn't run for anything here, they need to vote because that's their voice, and government just is basically everything, and it runs our whole communities, and nobody would be able to function without it.
Tennant also urged the girls here to not only register and vote in the general if they're eligible, but to be leaders amongst their friends and get them registered as well. Back at Boys State, the lesson of doing their civic duty, whether it's running for office or just voting, is one that the campers will remember.
Yes, I'm definitely going to vote now that I know more about politics, and I've learned more about politics now that I know how to vote, yeah.
The camps only last a few days, but the lessons will be remembered. Boys and Girls State could be the first test of leadership in a life of public service that could even end here at the state capitol.